Okay, real talk. You're staring at your Etsy shop right now, wondering what Easter printables to make, since Easter is coming up thick and fast. You know, Easter is a huge selling season, but let's be honest, the market is flooded with the same old Easter-themed printable products. You want something unique, you want something high demand, but low competition, something that will actually make sales. Well, guess what? I've got 19 Easter printable ideas that buyers are searching for but can't necessarily find yet. So, without further ado, let's jump into those right now and tap into those Easter products that are bound to make sales. But before we jump in, make sure you click the link in the description and access this Etsy product idea checklist, which is a really quick guide of all the things you should be making sure to check off when you are looking for Etsy product ideas of your own. So without further ado, let's jump into the first niche now. Okay, so first up we have bunny bucks. So these, you could say they are printable money aimed at kids with that Easter theming. Parents love using printable play money as rewards, and bunny bucks make Easter morning extra fun. These are basically little printable dollars that kids can find in eggs and redeem for fun stuff such as a trip to the park or extra screen time or a special treat. Some parents even swap out candy for these to avoid sugar overload, which is genius, right? So you could offer a mix of pre-written and blank ones as well so that they can be customized. And obviously, the cuter the design, the better. Let's look at a few of these in even more detail. So we have this one. It's an Easter play money with 6 designs ready to print. This is currently in 20 plus baskets at a price point of £2.99, which if you are in the US might be about approaching $4. If we're looking at the listing, we can see the various different designs. We can see in the center, it's like a really cute kind of Easter theming, and they've got a different theme on each of these bucks. Each buck is worth between $1 to $100, just like normal money would be used. So this is going to be a really fun design for kids to use. Moving on to this one, this is an Etsy's pick. It is in 14 baskets. It's a higher price point than the other, and it is definitely making, and when we're looking at the reviews, there are several reviews for this item. So that's letting us know that this is definitely going to start increasing in traffic, and people are going to be looking for products such as these very shortly. Moving on to this one, we can see it's had 14 views in the last 24 hours. So definitely traffic is building up for this particular niche. So to do some further research, I'm using another tool that I like to sometimes delve into. It's called Alura. And basically I click into research, which is what I've done now. I type in the keyword that I'm looking for, and then it throws out some data that I can then do some further validation for. So we've typed this in and we have some data here. We've got search volume, which is the monthly search volume for this particular keyword is 1,000. The competition, if you have watched any of my previous videos, you know I like to see competition of anything under about 5,000. As you can imagine, there are hundreds of thousands of products that are being sold on Etsy, that are being uploaded onto Etsy. So here, the smaller the number here, the better. This number is really very low. In the hundreds is usually quite difficult to come across anything that has competition in the hundreds with a decent search volume. So this is definitely letting us know that we have high demand but low competition here. The conversion rate is 7%, which is very high, which just lets us know people are actively searching for and buying within this niche. Lastly, the score that Alura is giving us is 78, which is deemed as high. So these are all really fantastic data points for us here. Also, looking at that first page and looking at the listings, we can see these other signals such as in 20 plus baskets, in 14 baskets, 14 views, and all of those things are Etsy personally letting us know that this is a high demand, high traffic niche. So that is the first one we have, bunny bucks. Next up, we have Easter egg tokens. So these are little printable reward slips that go inside maybe Easter eggs and offer things such as choose what's for dinner or stay out 15 minutes late, kind of like bunny bucks in a way. Parents love these because they make the Easter egg hunts more meaningful, and you will definitely sell these as digital downloads, maybe with different themes, maybe pastel or really colourful theming, maybe even vintage theming, maybe even a Christian religious-based theming as well. And obviously the best part with digital products is that once they're made, you can sell them forever. And that's why I love digital products personally. So let's open up a couple of these now. So we can see immediately these tokens are egg shaped, which is really cute, and on them they've got certain little instructions. So maybe this is a new video game, this is entitling them to money, this is a screen time one. So as you can tell, just various different gifts and things that they can earn. So as we can see, this is in demand. 4 people have bought this in the last 24 hours alone, and it is a fantastic price point of £3.97. And this is also the way it would be arranged when you are designing your. Moving on to this one's an Etsy's pick. This one is an Etsy's pick here. We have it in 7 baskets, and again, it is just egg shapes with those various instructions of how they can redeem these tokens themselves and what they are basically worth. When we are moving on over to Sales Samurai, we can see that there is a search volume of 390. We've got a very low competition of 1,463. A decent conversion rate. I like to see anything that is above about 2%. But Alura is still stating that this is very high, which is great. And then just looking at the scoring, it's giving it an average score. It's just taking all of these numbers into account. Score here personally is the thing that I take least into account. What I like to see is that there is search volume, any type of search volume, that the competition is under 5,000 and that the conversion rate is decent as well, because we're not basing all of our decisions on one tool alone. It is definitely about us going through Etsy, having a look, opening up a couple of those listings and looking for ourselves what Etsy is also telling us. There are plenty of products that I found in the past that maybe have an average score, maybe have, a lower search volume, but make me sales over and over again. And it's just because not every tool is going to give us that full picture, the full story of what is really going on. So it really is down to us to then do our own diligence, do our own additional research to make an informed decision. So that is our niche number 2, Easter egg token. Moving on, we have Easter scavenger hunt. So kids, obviously, they love a good treasure hunt, and an Easter themed scavenger hunt is going to be an instant hit. You can make a cute printable pack with maybe rhyming clues that lead to the Easter basket, or even create one for older kids or even teens with harder riddles and clues. A pro tip would be definitely to make different versions. So one based at toddlers, one for elementary school children, primary school children, and maybe even indoor versions for a rainy day. I mean, if you are over in the UK, you can never be too sure of what the weather is going to be like. And so having one for indoor games is going to be just as popular as one for outdoor as well. And all these options just mean that you are more likely to make even more sales. It's all about getting as much bang for our buck and for the energy that we put into creating these products. So let's have a deeper look at some of these products now. So this one, Easter Scavenger Hunt, we can see that there are various clues, really cute, colourful imagery on these different clues here. And this is in 20 plus baskets, so definitely picking up that traffic there. We also have 257 reviews for this item, and the most recent was just a couple of weeks ago. So people are definitely starting to buy this now in the lead up. We still are a good amount of time away from Easter, so this is now the time to get your products up in your store. Moving on to this Easter scavenger hunt, this is a single page printable, and it is just giving different items that the young person will be looking for, and then they just check them off, and the one with the most points at the end wins. This has had 20 plus views in the last 24 hours. So again, definitely picking up that traffic. People are really starting to search for these products. Moving on to this one, this is a teenage Easter egg hunt. So again, it's just really great to be able to delineate the different types of these products you're going to create for your audience. So like I said, you might want to create one for toddlers, you might want to create one for elementary, middle school children, and then obviously one for teenagers as well as those indoor ones. And all you would do is you would create that initial template and then just swap out the clues, maybe even swap out some of the imagery to match that target audience. As we can see, this one is in 20 plus baskets, which is fantastic. Moving on over to Alura, we can see some fantastic numbers here. We have 6,600 search volume. We've got a very low competition of 3,239. Like I said, anything under 5,000 is great for me. I'm not sure how Alura then what they deem as low or very low or high, but so this is still deemed as very low, which is really great for us too. Looking at the conversion rate, very high, 5%. So, and then the overall score is very high at 92. So this is a fantastic niche. It's really got that high search volume with that low competition and that excellent conversion rate. So this is definitely one that you definitely want to spend some time creating various versions of this. Also with Alura, you've got a really great space down here that gives us ideas of similar keywords. So for example, we've got Easter scavenger hunt for adults. We have Easter egg treasure hunt. So this is going to be a fantastic place to look for ideas of keywords to put in your title, your tags, and your description, as well as other complementary ideas that are maybe aligned with this niche, but not quite the same product. And it's just going to be a great place to do some brainstorming as well. Lent is definitely a big deal for families, but sometimes finding those family-friendly activities that are aligned with Lent aren't that easy. And so a printable such as this, 40 Days of Lent activities, are going to be a really great option for people looking for these types of products. This printable gives parents a ready-made plan with things such as daily activities, maybe even acts of kindness, reflection, small challenges. Even churches and homeschool mums would look for products such as these to share with their congregation and their kids that they are homeschooling. With this niche, definitely make it cute, but also quite simple to print, and consider making both a full color and a black and white option as well. When we are taking a further look, we can see this one is a bestseller. It is a single page printable and it's 40 days of Lent activities for kids. So it's just a different thing, different activity to carry out for each of the 40 days of Lent. We are actually in, as of when this video is going live, I think Lent starts tomorrow, the 5th of March. So you may feel like this might be too late to get something like this up, but the fact of the matter is that the way I would look at this is that it's only going to take me about an hour to make something like this. This is so simple. I would definitely take that chance to get a similar product up, because we are still 40 days out and there are still going to be people looking for activities from even the middle of Lent. I mean, even the last couple of weeks of Lent. So there definitely is still time for you to make your mark within this niche. And as we can see, due to the fact that we are, steadily approaching Lent, this one is definitely in demand and 11 people have bought this in the last 24 hours alone. Moving on to this one, this is a bestseller and it's in demand. 17 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. So definitely it's probably been picking up speed and increasing in buyers every day in the lead up to Lent. And I do believe that it's going to continue to make sales throughout Lent as well. Moving on to this one, this is also in demand, another bestseller, and 8 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. Moving on to Alura, we see that the search volume is only 70, and that's where I say that you can't always take the data that you find on some of these tools as gospel. You have to match it up with your own due diligence, your own research, because if you were just taking the numbers from here and saying, oh my goodness, the search volume isn't high enough for me, and then you didn't go ahead and look on that first page of Etsy and open up some of these listings, then you wouldn't see that the fact that there are actually quite a few sales going on within this niche. Yes, it is a seasonal niche, so you might feel like, oh my gosh, it's too late for me, but I personally don't take any of that into account. I don't care when we are in the season. If I see something that shows potential, I'm going to create it either way. Easter comes around every single year, so even if I don't make as many sales of a product this year, I am going to be in the best position to make sales next year, and I will just jump on that niche and make that product, because by next year I might have forgotten about the product that I found this year. But if I just do it now, get it up in my store now, then it just means I've still got a chance to make sales this season and then next season as well. So when we're looking at the rest of the numbers here, we see that the competition is very low, only 186. So this alone is just something that I love seeing numbers like this that are so low, because it really just lets us know that this is really low competition, but as we can see, high demand. Moving on to the conversion rate, we've got 5% and the score is high. And that is because the competition is so low. Looking at some of these similar keywords, we've got Sunday school, Lenten activities, countdown calendar. So this is going to be a great place, again, like I said, to come and get some other ideas. Next up, we have Easter prayer cards. So these are perfect for parents, churches, Sunday schools, for adults as well. You can design them with short, meaningful prayers, Bible verses, even gratitude prompts. You could make them really child-friendly, depending on your audience, with simple words, or make it really lovely for females, if you go for maybe watercolor florals and pastels and things like that. You could even bundle them with other Lent activities to increase your value as well. So looking at some of these listings, we can see this one is in demand. It's a fantastic price point of over £11. And if we have a look to see how many cards there are 47 cards in total, and each card has a really beautiful watercolor themed image here with a prayer for each week, and it has 47 cards total with a scripture topic for each week. I believe there's a prayer for each day in total, but because this is such a beautiful design, I can definitely see why they're able to command such a high price point. And look at this, the fact that they've had 4 people buy this in the last 24 hours. That is £45 worth of sales from one printable product. Moving on to this one, Lent prayer cards. There are 46 different cards here. Again, a really decent price point here, and this is in 20+ baskets as well. Moving over to Alura, we have a search volume of 110. We've got a very low competition of 1,872, very high conversion rate of 4%, and overall the score is 52. Looking at the similar keywords, we've got Holy Easter card, Easter junk journal, we have Christian SVGs, religious SVGs, amongst other things. Next up, we have Easter brunch invitation. So Easter brunch is basically, I would guess, the Super Bowl of springtime gatherings. And let me tell you that people definitely want cute invitations. A digital editable invitation basically lets your buyers customize and print these from home. I would definitely offer a mixture of modern florals, quite elegant florals, pastel designs, in order to attract different buyers. And a bonus just off the top of my head would be maybe to add a matching menu template as a bundle or upsell. So when we're looking at some of these listings, we can see this one, it is Easter brunch and an egg hunt invitation. Really gorgeous design with that Easter bunny on. And this is in demand. 3 people have bought this in the last 24 hours alone, at a fantastic price point of £5.38 for this single page printable. Moving on to this one, this is a slightly different design, but still just as pretty. It is in 20+ baskets at that £4.78 price point. So people are definitely looking for these products, purchasing these products. If they don't purchase it at the time, they're definitely putting it in their baskets, as we can see, to come back and make that final purchase. Moving on over to Alura, we can see a search volume of 390. A very low competition of 3,784, a really high conversion rate of 7%, and then altogether it's giving it an average score of 54. But as you can see, people are definitely buying within this niche. Looking at similar keywords, we've got Easter Sunday, spring flowers, spring party invitation, which would be maybe a great one to add to our listing. We've got Easter party invitations, Easter egg invite, so lots of other ideas here. Moving on, we have Fussy Cuts Easter printable. So scrapbookers and junk journalers live for printable fussy cuts, which are basically small detailed images that they can cut out and, create crafts with. Think vintage bunnies, pastel florals, and old school Easter postcard. You can even sell a single set or make a huge bundle with maybe like 50 or 100+ different elements for a higher price point. Looking at some of these listings, we can see this is a bestseller. Really gorgeous designs. As you can see, lots of bunnies, eggs, and anything that denotes spring and Easter there. This one is in 20 plus baskets and it is a bestseller as well. Moving on to this one, another bestseller, pastel Easter printable fussy cuts here. We've got the kind of all the spring baby animals. We've got lots of eggs and all those florals as well. This one is in 20 plus baskets and it's going to be really easy to create something like this in Midjourney or Ideogram or any other AI generator of. Moving on to this one, these are absolutely gorgeous shabby chic egg designs. Another bestseller, I can definitely see why. And this is in 20 plus baskets as well. Moving on, we have Stations of the Cross for kids. So this is a great faith-based Easter printable that basically makes a deep religious tradition more accessible for kids and little ones. You can definitely create a simplified, colourful version of the 14 Stations of the Cross using cute illustrations and easy to understand descriptions. Parents, Sunday school teachers, homeschoolers will love this for helping kids to connect with the Easter story. You can offer it as a printable poster or maybe as individual cards that can be arranged in order. So this is a, quite a little known product that people are definitely searching for. So having a look at this one, Printable Stations of the Cross for Children. This is an instant download. And as we can see, it's got the various different stations and a description of them. We have this one as in demand and 4 people have bought this in the last 24 hours alone. Moving on to this one, this is a bestseller and it is in demand as well with 4 sales in the last 24 hours. So I would say this is definitely one of those untapped, lesser known type products as well that you can tap into. As we can see, lots of popular nows here, bestsellers here. So definitely one of those ones to add to the list of high demand but low competition. Next up, we have 1-year-old Easter invitation. So first, Easter parties are a thing and mums and dads love to go all out. So a special invitation for a baby's first Easter is a super unique, untapped niche. Make it soft, make it whimsical, and maybe even include a space for a baby photo. If you're feeling extra fancy, then definitely create a matching party bundle. Think banners, cupcake toppers, and thank you tags as well. When looking at some of these listings, we can see this is a bestseller, really simple minimalistic design, but with that cute bunny in that really lovely pastel pink tone. This is in demand and 3 people have bought this in the last 24 hours alone. Moving on, we've got another bestseller with 4 sales being made in the last 24 hours with that slogan, "Some bunny is turning 1." So definitely a thing and people are probably looking up this slogan as well. Moving on, we have Easter pregnancy announcements. The pregnancy announcements niche is a huge one and there is so much scope to create similar products for various seasons, various months. You could create Christmas pregnancy announcements, Valentine's Day pregnancy announcements, summer pregnancy announcements, the list goes on. But for this Easter pregnancy announcement niche, you're definitely going to want to embody those, the bunnies and maybe baby animals and things like that. As we can see, we've got a lot of popular now badges on this first page, definitely letting us know that people are searching for these right now in order to make their extra special announcements. Looking at this one, we are excited to say we have a little bunny on the way. How cute is that? Kind of knitted elements here. We've got the bunny, we've got the carrot, and it's kind of that kind of boho, really neutral shades as well. This is in 20 plus baskets and it is a £6.60 price point. Moving on to this one, this is in 13 baskets. So excited to say we are expecting arriving November 2025. How cute is that? This is a really fun phrase here and again, really gorgeously designed. It's in 13 baskets, like I said, and a fantastic price point of £7.75. Looking at this one, this has had 16 views in the last 24 hours. It is a lower price point, but again, a really lovely design there. And the thing is, we're talking about Easter pregnancy announcements, but like I said, there is so much scope to delve into every single different seasonal event and create similar products like these for those as well. Next up, we have Easter handprint art. Now, parents love keepsakes and design templates where kids can turn their handprints into bunnies and little chicks and lambs. You could even add a cute poem, and this is going to be great to create adorable, sentimental, and high demand products for your audience. So looking at a couple of these, we can see that this one, so we've got footprints that make carrots. How cute is that? This is an Etsy's pick and it is in demand. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours alone. Moving on to this one, we've got footprints making a bunny, and really going to be simple to create, and it's in demand with 3 people who have bought this in the last 24 hours. Lastly, we have a bestseller here. It is in demand and 3 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. It is made up of 12 different printables, and this is a great way to just bundle up and provide more value and be able to command a higher price point. Looking over at Alura, we can see that we have a search volume of 320, a very low competition here, and a very high conversion rate with an average score of 54. I personally firsthand know that handprint crafts sell fantastically well. If you saw my previous video or one of my previous videos where I uncovered a handprint Valentine niche, which I put up in the month of January and then showcased how much it made in the lead up to Valentine's Day. These particular niches are fantastic for handprint crafts, and there is never a better time to get your products up into this niche than right now. As we can see, we've got some really great similar keywords here: Easter bunny handprint craft, chick handprint art, handprint Easter cards, and various others. So this is going to be a great place to look for additional ideas. Next up, we have Whimsical Easter clip art. So this is great for artists, crafters, and small business owners who need clip art for their project. So think hand-drawn Easter eggs, really quirky looking watercolor bunnies, or doodle style chicks and things of that nature. The best part about these is that once they're made, digital clip art sells over and over again with zero extra work, and that is the case for anything printable digital product wise anyway. So we've got a variety of quirky different styles here, and so there's plenty of scope to create something really different. Looking at this particular style, this is a bestseller. We've got various different chicks and animals here in a kind of very different, distinctive, quirky look and feel. And this one is in 19 baskets. And also it has made sales quite recently because we see a recent review here too. Moving on to this one, a really quirky Easter bunny set of clip art here. It is a bestseller and in 20 plus baskets. Lastly, we've got a funny quirky Easter chick set of clip art. This one's in 16 baskets, so definitely sales are being made of this product. So moving on, we've got an interesting one, dark Easter prints. So basically what I can gather from this is that not everyone loves pastel bunnies. There is definitely a growing demand for kind of more moody style art, and this applies to the Easter niche as well. So, you think about these different bunny rabbits, but maybe against a really dark, moody setting. And, there's something about this that is quite captivating, and I really like the look of these different art prints. We're going to be able to create something like this quite easily in Midjourney too. So looking at this particular listing, we can see that it is in demand and 5 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. Definitely denoting that this is a high demand niche that is probably quite unsaturated because it is kind of a sub niche of that Easter wall art niche. Moving on, this one is a bestseller. Look how gorgeous this looks. I mean, even though it is more of a moody vibe, it's allowing these floral this floral color palette to really pop off of the page there. We can see this is also in demand and 4 people have bought this in the last 24 hours as well. And looking at this one, another bestseller, and this is in demand with 2 people are buying this in the last 24 hours. We can see that there are recent reviews of only a couple days ago. So people are actively searching for and buying this dark, moody Easter print type art. Moving swiftly on, we have vintage Easter labels here. So these are printable kind of vintage style labels, which are hot for DIY Easter gifts, such as homemade candles, soaps, baked goods. You can design a set of printable Happy Easter type labels with maybe a retro aesthetic, where I would think old-fashioned fonts, florals, muted colors, and sellers on Etsy love using these for packaging as well as crafters for handmade projects. So scrolling through this first page, I am seeing lots of those sales signals that I like, which are bestseller badges, popular now badges, and things of that nature. More bestsellers here, bestsellers, popular nows, and bestsellers. So this is a great sign that this is an active niche. Having a look, we see that this is a bestseller, really cute vintage, kind of worn type feeling there with these labels. It is in 20 plus baskets as well. Moving on to this one, in demand. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours and it is also a bestseller. And lastly, this one, again, retro vintage type vibe with the, vintage typography and really nice vintage illustrations here as well. And it is in 20 baskets. So this is definitely another really great niche that is currently in demand for Easter. So moving on to this niche for kids, it is Easter play-doh mats. So parents are always looking for a screen for activities, and play-doh mats, not just Easter themed, but in various different themes, play-doh mats are a fantastic option. So think bunny ears to decorate, or eggs to fill with patterns, or baskets to color using play-doh. You can offer different versions like educational mats that help with counting or letters, and also instruct the user to laminate these printables, which makes them reusable as well. But as we can see, we've got bunny shaped play-doh mats here. We've got spring counting, we've got Easter themed, and so definitely people are providing a lot of different options here. We can see bestsellers as well on this page. Looking at this one, this is actually a Christian version of an Easter play-doh mat, which I didn't see a lot of those on that first page. So this is definitely an untapped niche, going down the Christian route. Easter is a Christian tradition anyway, so being able to offer that audience something that is aligned, really with it, and maybe less of the bunny rabbits and the Easter eggs, but more and more of the Jesus and cross themes and things like that, is definitely going to appeal to a very wide audience. This one is a bestseller just because of that reason, and it's in demand with 5 people that have bought this in the last 24 hours alone, which is awesome. Moving on, we have another bestseller, again Christian aligned. We've got Easter Holy Week play-doh mats. It is a bestseller, in demand, and 4 people have bought this in the last 24 hours alone. We've got 26 reviews for this item, so definitely paired with the fact it's a bestseller and that it's made for sales, this the kind of Christian slant on these play-doh mats is definitely in demand. Lastly, we've got the kind of carrots and the bunnies version, and that is in 16 baskets. So there's a lot of scope to create a lot of interesting items within this play-doh, Easter play-doh mat niche. Moving on, we have Easter bingo cards. So bingo is one of the easiest printable games to create. It's perfect for Easter parties, classrooms, family gatherings. You can design a cute pastel themed bunny version or a religious version with Bible symbols. You could offer a pre-filled set and a blank template where customers can actually add their own words. To increase the value, maybe bundle it with a set of printable Easter game ideas as well. But this is definitely a simple yet profitable digital product that people will grab year after year. Taking a deeper look, we have this one. It has 30 cards. As you can see, it's just a grid with elements that fill each box. And then it's got the title, Easter Bingo, and it is in 20 plus baskets. Looking at this one again, simply designed, just lovely, colourful, spring-themed colour palette, and it is in 15 baskets as well. Lastly, this one includes 50 cards, again, very similar to the previous ones, and it's had 20 plus views in the last 24 hours. When we're looking over at Alura, we can see Easter Bingo gets a fantastic search volume of 2,900. The competition is very low at 2,387. The conversion rate is very high at 9%. And that gives it a very high overall score of 82. Looking at the similar keywords, we can see Easter Christian Bingo, we can see Easter Bingo for preschool, Easter Bingo for adults. So lots of different variations on that Easter Bingo theming, and that's just going to give us more ideas for complementary products or similar products we can then create within this overall niche. Moving on, we have Easter placemat activities. So parents love printable activity placemats for keeping kids entertained at the table. These placemat activities can include things such as mazes, word searches, tic-tac-toe, and colouring sections. If you create a mix of fun and educational activities, teachers can even use them in the classrooms as well. Definitely offer them in both colour and black and white to make them more versatile for printing. So when we are looking into a couple of these listings, we can see this one, it's a bestseller and it is in 20 plus baskets. As we can see, it's got Lent at the top here. We've got some of these illustrations that can be colorable. We've got the word search, we've got a word scramble, tic-tac-toe, and various other activities there. This is really well designed and I can definitely see why it is a bestseller. Looking at this one, this is an Easter activity printable mat and it's got some different types of activities here. We've got the word scramble, we've got a maze, but we've got a really cool color by number as well there, as well as the usual word search and other bits. This one's in 8 baskets and it has several reviews too. Moving on to this one, this is in 7 baskets and it has several reviews as well for it. Looking at this one, this comes in 4 styles in 3 sizes, so they've really tried to bundle this up in order to create more value. So we are almost at the end of this video, but let me give you the last Easter product idea, which is the Lent trivia games. So these are a great way to make learning about Lent and Easter fun for kids and families. You can create different difficulty levels, so both kids and adults can play. You could make a printable card deck or a sheet with multiple choice questions and answers. And, you know, since churches and homeschool groups love faith-based activities, this could be a big hit as well for religious Etsy sellers. If you have a store that only sells kind of Christian-based products, this will be great for you. So looking at this particular listing, it is a single page printable. The aim is to match the question to the answer and the person with the most correct answers wins. So look at how simple this is. We can see that it is a bestseller and it is in 20 plus baskets. This is not going to take you more than an hour to create. And then you can create several different versions of this and then bundle them up to provide even more value and be able to charge a higher price point. Looking at this one, this is kind of more watercolor theme. It's got fill in the blanks, but again, the same premise as the previous one we looked at. This is in 11 baskets and there are some reviews there as well. And this one lastly has had 9 views in the last 24 hours. And when we move over to Alura, we can see that we have a search volume of 110, a very low competition of only 37. That is absolutely insane that there are only 37 competing listings for this keyword on Etsy. The conversion rate of these is very high at 4%, and the score is 75, which is high as well. So, if you've made it this far, fantastic. I really hope that you have gained a lot from this video. It was a long one. I really wanted to go in depth and provide you with some really great and lucrative Easter product ideas for you to then go ahead and create in your own businesses. So in the next video, I'm going to choose one of these 19 different product ideas that I brought you, and I will be creating it. So make sure you look out for that video, put your notification bell on to be informed when that video is out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And until next time, all the very best.